Welcome back to another video. I hope you're enjoying it and I hope you're doing well. How's life? Good? I'm glad to hear it. But we're back. We're back in the sun. We're enjoying this. We're in Spain. It gets a little chilly, hence the hat. But we'll do it with the glasses on. Oh, that was slick. Today I want to talk about metaverses and how brands can enter metaverses and what makes it so important for them to enter metaverses. And maybe I'll start with the FMCGs and do a series on how different brands can use a very simple approach to engage with their consumers inside of metaverse environments. Well, the metaverse, we're already there, right? So Sims is a metaverse, Call of Duty is essentially a metaverse. It's a digital environment or a virtual environment. And users are able to go in and do different things. So the metaverses that are linked to crypto at the moment are things like Decentraland. The other ones are not. How would companies like Unilever, Colgate, P&G start to utilize these environments to their benefit? Well, if I was one of these brands, if I was one of these massive FMCGs, I would begin to start building experiences inside of these metaverses for their consumers. And what do I mean by that? Well, when I say experiences, I mean things like a Uni mall or a P&G mall, where their customers can go in and they can access all of these brands, not just a shopping aisle, but a well thought out user experience that is going to actually make buying these products enjoyable. Because a lot of the products that FMCGs purchase are just flippant purchases, in my opinion. They buy them and it's like, oh yeah, I need that. It's not because you want to buy it, it's because you have to buy it. So giving the user value in the buying experience, I think, is quite important. So a company like P&G, for instance, could build a mall, they could build these experiences, and they could start processing transaction payments inside of metaverse environments so that consumers purchase the product in reality, essentially, and it gets shipped to their door. That can be done using a protocol called Boson Protocol, a company working on basically being the PayPal or Stripe of the metaverse world. I'm sure Stripe will eventually catch on. With the foods that these brands provide, you could start bringing out food experiences and cooking shows and cooking experiences and recipes that are done in real time using people's avatars. So take, for instance, Unilever teaming up with Gordon Ramsay and having a cooking experience where Gordon Ramsay's avatar is showing you how to cook like he does on his show, that is paid for, and it's a paid entry, but at the end of the experience, the consumer, the customer, is able to receive those goods and receive all the things that they use to make the dish inside the metaverse environment in reality, that they can cook at home for their family, or they can cook at home for their partner or by themselves. And it becomes a really interesting way of interacting that I think these brands have never done before, and we don't see enough. Dove, for instance, could start putting on a show where they showcase different types of skin and walk you through it. Rather than it being a video, you physically get to see inside of the pores of human skin to see which better suits you, right? And then at the end of it, you have the ability to purchase these products. And I just think that these experiences are going to be so powerful for users because, one, it's not something that has to be done in a physical location. They can be built and torn down in a matter of a day. It's also not going to cost millions to do. What they'll eventually need is an in-house design agency that knows how to code using JavaScript and how to do 3D modeling inside of digital environments, whereby they can build stuff in a day or build stuff in a matter of days. So what would have previously costed, north of maybe £80,000, £100,000, £250,000 for a full-on show, right? That's videoed, edited, and whatever. This is a live experience inside of a purpose-built environment that is catered for the users and catered for the experience, rather than it being something that isn't, and can be torn down in a day and replaced in a matter of hours, right? I like that. I like that for brands. I like that for FMCGs, because now they have the ability to cross the threshold that they weren't able to cross before. Something that, I would go to a cooking show, wouldn't you? Like, I've been to a chili festival in London, which is an enjoyable experience in the summer. But when I'm at home in the winter, do I want to go to a chili festival? No. Would I want to go to a Metaverse chili festival or a Metaverse Hellman's festival? Sure, that would be an interesting one. I'm a fan of the vegan mayo, right? And it's something that they can further build upon as new technologies come out. How would NFTs get wrapped up into this? Is that these NFTs could be receipts, right? The receipts to purchases could be given as NFTs, and then you could build potentially some interesting possibilities off of that. So, for instance, a brand could say that if you collect X number of NFTs of, one of our products, one of our brands, then we will give you a couple of free NFTs which are redeemable at any time. And those NFTs are in a gamified experience where you are battling it out with other players inside of these worlds that they've created and purpose built, or they provide you entry into specific environments that are purpose built for the VIP customers. And I love that. I love that for brands. Why shouldn't any brand be able to do that now? Whether it's Dove, whether it's L'Oreal, whether it's Commons, whether it's Marmite, whether it's Knorr, whether it's PG Tips, all of these brands should be able to have purpose-built environments and have the ability to do that. Whether it's ice cream, for instance. And I love that for brands. I think I will do a series on this where I'll go through other brands and maybe clothing companies, car companies, furniture companies, housing companies, and all the things that people can do inside of metaverse environments and how you can make sustainable business models. But this will change the game and change the experience of purchasing a product that was previously something that was a non-negotiable type of product. You kind of always have to buy detergent, face cream, condiments, right? Because it's just a necessity in a household, and it's not fun. Now it can be fun. Now it can be a full-blown, day out, hours out, instead of it being a couple seconds. But it can also be a couple seconds if you want it to be. And these products can just be purchased very easily through an online portal that you build inside of a metaverse. It doesn't always have to be an experience. And I love that. I really do like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've got some value out of it. If it isn't as detailed as you'd like, hit me up in the comments and I will go into more detail about, what I think what other things these brands can do. I think off the top of my head, I would say NFTs in the art capacity aren't really for brands like these FMCG companies. Would it be useful to an extent? Yeah, L'Oreal could release a set of NFTs with female and male artists, high-profile artists that are redeemable and have utility to them in terms of products. That if they collect an X amount, as I said, your access inside of these experiences is possible, or they are beautiful pieces of art done by amazing artists that you could hang up on a wall, for instance. And if you collect a certain number from one brand and another brand and you mesh them together, you get a rare number of NFTs. You are able to merge the NFTs together and it builds a one-of-one NFT that no one else has, which is obviously tradable on a secondary market, which a company could look at and say, a person can look at and say, hey, I love that piece of art, but I haven't got all of those NFTs to be able to mint that. And now that holds a tangible real world value, and they're putting the position of, power of income into the consumer's hands, and they're building a community again that they previously wouldn't have. Because I'm not sure about you, but I don't resell Dove or I don't resell PG Tips. But maybe that becomes a thing. I like these ideation sessions. I'm going to call them that. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. And if brands you want to reach out to me, please. I run a crypto agency as well, and I advise brands on metaverse technologies, metaverse experiences, and hopefully we can have a discussion. If you want to just learn more, hit me up as well, and I'm always free to chat. Ciao. Hasta luego.